Oh my gosh. So what's new?
I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. It feels like it's been like a month, but it really hasn't
It
even
really
been that
hasn't.
long. It's been like maybe like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Something like that.
which is wild.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. Well, how's wedding planning? Are you okay? How was the...
Yeah, wedding planning is going great,
Okay.
actually. I just spent all weekend finalizing the timeline, the seating chart and everything. I feel like everything is pretty much ordered. So yeah, it's just like waiting for it to
until
happen.
it happens. Oh my gosh. Wait, that's really exciting. I cannot wait to see everything and everything's starting to bloom.
Yes.
Oh.
The backyard where I'm getting married looks really good, really green right now.
Oh my gosh.
And
I know. I'm starting to see like the trees bloom and I'm just like, because daylight savings just happened
Mhm.
and I just feel alive. I just feel so good. I love when there's more sunlight. I do
Me
not like when it
too.
gets dark at 5, 6. I'm like, I need it to be dark at like 10 p.m.
Yes.
So I am thriving right now. The weather is starting to be a little bit better. It's a little windy today, but I'm just like, this is what I needed.
Yeah, it feels so nice. And like they're doing some like landscaping in the backyard where we're
Okay.
getting married.
Yes.
And painting is happening. It's looking really good.
Oh my gosh.
We also ordered our wedding bands already.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm really excited.
I can't wait to see.
I know. I just want to wear it already.
I know. I mean, you can.
I know. Ian was like, I want to wear my ring. I'm like, you literally can. I love when
Yeah.
fiancés wear rings.
Yeah, they should be able to.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
I
Get
know.
used to it already.
Yeah. I know, because he never wears jewelry. And so whenever I saw it on him, I was like,
oh my gosh.
I was like, hot damn.
Yes.
It looks so good.
Oh, that's so exciting. I cannot wait to see how everything comes together. I just know it's going to be good. It's just going
Yeah.
to be such a relaxing day for you. And I don't know, it's just going to be great.
I ordered my rehearsal dinner dress. I didn't think
Ooh.
I'd be like into making everything so special and fancy, but now I'm
Yeah.
like, we
Oh,
might as
no.
well.
Yeah, you should. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to do that? I
Yeah.
feel like that's what you have to do as a bride.
Oh, and we booked our hotel. We're staying at the Virgin, which I'm so excited because I've never stayed there
Yes.
before.
So fun. The Virgin is so nice.
Our room looks so cute.
Really?
I'm really excited.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so exciting. So wait, are you staying there
The
before
night
the wedding?
of.
Oh, the night of. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I think Ian's gonna get dressed there with his friends
Oh, okay. Ooh, yes. And are you getting ready
at just the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay, that's so exciting. Okay, well that's good. I'm glad everything's coming together because I
Yeah.
know you were, I don't know, stressed and then not stressed and then stressed again. I don't know. That's just how wedding planning goes, I feel like.
Yeah,
It's
I was
just
super
so
stressed
hard.
in the beginning, but now I feel like I said, I think I had everything planned out, but I wasn't like executing any of the steps.
Yeah, okay.
And so now all the steps have been executed.
Yes.
And I feel good now.
Yes. Okay, amazing. Well, I just did like a brand activation thing
Yes. How
this
did that
weekend
go?
and it was good. It was just like I didn't know Dallas did St. Patty's Days like that. It
Mhm.
was just so wild. Like
Was it on Lower Greenville?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was like all of Greenville. It wasn't even just lower.
Okay.
It was like the entire freaking street, which is so long. But I just didn't realize because the brand activation thing was happening kind of like in the morning. So I was there from 8:30 to like noon and it was packed at like 7:30.
Wow.
In the morning.
Yeah.
And people were out drinking already. And I was like, wow, I was not expecting that at all. Like, I was like maybe expecting people to start coming in at like 9, 9:30, 10. No, they were there at like 6 a.m. camping out. Like, it was crazy. The only stressful part about that day was just trying to find parking because I knew it was going to be bad. So I gave myself an hour to try to find parking, but it was just like, I just couldn't find it. And so I eventually just had to park like at a Costco and I took an Uber to try to get as close as possible to the event because
Wow.
I could not find parking. And at one point I got stuck in traffic because there was a 5K going on. And so I was like stuck in this like, I don't know, in traffic during the 5K and I was like trying to get out. So that took so much time and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I just was not expecting that at all. I should have just Ubered there to make my life easier. But yeah, it was just wild. And But my part was fine. Like, it was easy to take photos. I don't really have to like direct anyone, really have to talk to that many people the day of. So
Was it fun? Would you do
was
it
fun.
again?
Yeah, it was
Cool.
fun. Yeah. Just maybe not on St. Patty's Day. Because that was just stressful. There was just so many people there, but it was a fun little event. And so, yeah, I do like stuff like that just to kind of get out of the wedding zone and just kind of do something else, do something different. And yeah, it was fun. And I love brands and like brand activations and stuff. So I think that could be like a cool thing for me to maybe do in the future, because I have realized that Dallas does have like a bunch of that stuff like happening all the time. So it would be nice to eventually maybe, I don't know, try to do that more often than maybe just doing weddings. Because right now I really only do weddings.
Mhm.
And when I was in Lubbock, I was like doing weddings and seniors. And so the senior part kind of like gave me like a different perspective, a different like creative outlet than weddings. And so now I maybe want to do something else with photography too, like finding
Yeah.
something else, but I don't know.
That's how I am
I'm
with
not
families.
really, oh, okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not really pursuing it. I'm not going to like make it a big thing, but like if the opportunity comes, or if like, I'm like really big into like the influencer space. Like I follow a lot of influencers. I love that space. And so I don't want to be an influencer, but I think it would be really fun to do their events and like photograph their events. And maybe even if they have events, like I always talk about Jenna Pallet because she's in Austin and I love following her, and she does like a lot of events. So even like maybe trying to like reach out to her and even doing stuff for free, or just like even just trying to get into that space to build a portfolio, I think would be really cool to do. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm like thinking about, but not actively pursuing.
Yes.
Because it's like
Add
another
one more thing to
yeah,
the
I was
list.
gonna say I have too much on my plate right now. Like, it's so funny because I think I texted Miranda and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so bad because I feel like I'm just copying you. Like everything you do, I'm like doing after you say it. Like the Substack, I'm doing it. I'm like, I just was just like, I feel like I'm just like copying everything you do. And then I was like editing the episode, the last episode, I think, or maybe the episode before that. I can't even remember which one it was, but you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm copying you." And it was about the weekly schedule.
Oh,
And it's
yes.
so funny
We
that
just
it was
influence each other.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, "Oh, we're just influencing each other." And yeah, it was just so funny because I'm not like literally copying you,
No.
but it's just funny that I'm like so easily influenced by people. It's kind of scary. I'm like, wow, I'm like the best consumer out
Me
there
too.
because I'm just like, okay, if you're doing it, I'm gonna do it too. So it's just like one of those things. But I just thought it was funny because I was like, oh my gosh, I hope you don't feel like I'm copying you and just doing everything that you're doing. And then I listened to the episode and I was like, oh my God, Miranda literally said like I'm copying you.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny because I don't realize it because
Yeah.
it's not something that I'm like, oh my gosh, she's copying me. But you like internalize it if it's like you doing something that someone else is doing. So
Yeah.
anyways, I was just like, wow, that was just so funny to like hear because I was like so insecure. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't think I'm
No,
copying
I would
her and
never
being
think that. No.
and being like that. But like I would never think that either. So what I've learned with us is that if I wouldn't think that, you definitely wouldn't think that either.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I just have to voice it out because I just feel like so in my head sometimes that it's
Yeah.
just like I just want to get it out of my head and just feel like, okay, if she says that it's like whatever, then it's whatever. I'm not gonna keep like
Ruminating.
ruminating on it.
No.
So yeah, that's what I've just learned too. It's just like I gotta stop being so insecure. But
No,
we're working
I feel
on
like
it.
we all feel that way. But
We're working on it. Well, it's just hard because Steph, my sister, has so many stories of just like the craziest people out there. Like she just like has
like copying people.
yeah, just like copying people, or just like I don't know. She just like has stories of people that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to ever interact with people like that, ever be friends with people like that. And so, yeah, it's just crazy. So I just was like, I just need to be clear on what I'm doing and what I'm saying and whatever else. But I wanted to ask you about your Substack. How are you? What is going on
I
with
knew
that?
you were gonna ask me because I haven't written. I haven't written my second post yet. I think I've been so like, in the world of wedding planning and like all these different changes that I'm having in my business that I like haven't been on Substack a lot, but that is one of my things that I'm doing this week is writing my second post.
Okay, I mean, that's good. As long as you get back into it, I don't think
If
it's like a
anything,
big
it'll be
deal.
like a once a month thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which
I
is
feel like that's good.
good, I
Like a
think.
monthly newsletter or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. I think that's fine. Yeah. I was gonna say I haven't posted in a while either. It feels like it's been a while, but I don't really actually think it's been that long since I
It
last
hasn't.
posted. But that's something that I was gonna post every other week.
Okay.
Anyways, so it just feels like it's been a long time, but it really hasn't been. But anyways, yeah, so that's going good. I feel like it's just kind of there. It's just like another stream of like marketing. So I'm just kind of working on that and the social media of it all too. I'm trying to be more consistent. And right now, I just need it to be like a habit that I do. So right now, I'm not really focusing on likes and metrics and captions and things like that. I literally just want to start getting into the habit of like posting, being on there, things like that, just because I think sometimes we try to go all in and then you just fall off.
Yeah.
And then you repeat the cycle over and over again. So right now I'm just trying to get into the habit of actually posting, and so far so good, I guess.
Yeah. I think for me I've honestly unintentionally made it a part of my morning routine.
Yes.
Which is kind of weird, but like first thing I do when I wake up is I check my phone, which I know you're not supposed to, but literally like leave me alone. And since I'm like already on Instagram, that's when I post.
Yes.
And I like kind of just like don't care about when's the best time to post, like because it works for me to do it in the morning and I never have to think about it again.
Yeah.
And now it feels like such a habit that I don't really ever think about like, oh, I need to post on Instagram.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And so that's why I'm trying to make it a habit, so it's not like a thing. It's just kind of like what I do each week is like I plan the post and then that's it. I don't really have to think about it again, because when I wasn't posting every day, I was like, oh, I should post, I should post, I should post. So it just like kept it was just like in my head all of the time. And when you just do it, it's not going to be in your head all of the time.
yeah.
So it's not going to be like, you need to post, or like you feel shame because you haven't posted. And so, yeah, that's just, I'm trying to make it a weekly thing where I schedule it like on Mondays and then I don't worry about it for the rest of the week. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's done. I don't need to do that. I don't need to think about it again because it's been done at the beginning of the week. So that's what I'm working on. And, oh, I was going to talk about Dubsado because I think I mentioned that they're changing like their interface and that they were going to have like beta testers, or like, I think that's what they're called, testers, beta testers, alpha testers. I don't know. Anyways, I don't even know what it's called, but so they had like a sign up so you could test it out, give them feedback on their new interface and if there's any bugs or whatever. And I was able to get on the list to be able to test it. And it was really cool because I think they were only going to let like 200 people do it. And who knows how many users they have. And I literally scheduled like when they were going to release the email, because I was like, I need to be on it because I just want to see it. And also I just think it's cool to be able to like test something like that. And so I like reminded myself on my calendar to like check my email around that time that they were going to drop the email. And so, yeah, I was able to get on the list. And I think this next week is when they're going to start, I guess, showing us. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I know we're getting on a Zoom call to maybe, I don't know, see what it's all about. And then we're going to be able to test it for like a week or something. So, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited because I've been with Dubsado for a long time, and I'm like, I know they've been needing to change their interface, and I'm just like, I'm so excited to see what it looks like, and if there's anything cool that I can talk about, we can have like a Dubsado episode or something, because I think this new change is going to be really, really good for all their future updates. I think their updates are going to be a lot faster since they changed like the whole back end of everything. So that'll be really good. So hopefully their scheduler is going to be out of beta and like everything's going to be a lot smoother and look nicer. Yeah. And so I'm really excited about that.
That's so funny because the other day Kinsey called me at like 11:30 at night. She like FaceTimed me and was like, I need help like doing something in the back end of Dubsado. And I'm like, cool, I love Dubsado, let's do it. And so we were working like with her scheduler, but there was like something broken with like the invoice or something. And we literally stayed up until like 1:30, like trying to figure it out. But it was like a process that she wanted to have that it wasn't like you couldn't just outright tell Dubsado to do this. You had to like work around some things.
Okay.
And I love like trying to like beat the system and like
me too.
making it work for me.
Me too.
And so I was like, yeah, you called the right girly because
Yes.
I will stay up with you until 2 in the morning figuring this out.
Something about me, I love a problem.
Yeah.
And I love not only having a problem, but other people having a problem that I can fix.
I can fix. Yes. Okay, we're the same then.
It's so funny. No, because I love when people call me about problems like that, or like website fixes or anything like that. I'm like, yes, like you said, you called the right girl because we are going to fix this right now.
I love it. So maybe with their like new, when it comes out of like beta,
yes,
it'll be a better scheduler
I
thing.
think, yeah, I don't know. Well, hopefully I'll be learning more when I get on like the Zoom and like actually see the interface. I just know the reason they couldn't like do a lot of things faster as far as like updates is because their coding from like their first like iteration of their development just isn't as good as it could be, and so they were trying to like go around the system almost, and so they just completely rewrote the code for all of Dubsado so that way they can be a lot faster with these updates, because beforehand they were just kind of like trying to make it work, but it wasn't working to the extent where they couldn't do it fast enough for people to be happy with it. And so I think hopefully they do have a new scheduler, because it's not bad right now, but it's not the greatest. Like it could be a lot better than what it is right now. And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully they'll be able to have more changes within the scheduler, because yeah, I don't really love the scheduler right now, but it works for what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess it's better than not having anything at all, but it could be better. So I'm excited to just like learn about all of the things, and hopefully I'll be able to do like what I've been wanting to do is like proposal templates for people too. And so I'm kind of going through a rebrand right now. Well, honestly, everyone I feel like in my life right now is.
Yeah.
Like you said you were doing the rebrand and I was like, "Oh, I don't have time to do it." So I've been thinking about it a lot lately again, where I'm like just easily influenced, and Steph's doing a rebrand right now. And then I was talking to my friend Kirsten, and she's also kind of like going through a little rebrand refresh thing. And I was just like, okay, all signs are pointing to you need to change things up. And so I am, but just slowly. And so I think what's taking me the longest is I'm having to go through my portfolio and finding images. And I think that's taking me the longest because the copy is like pretty easy for me, and everything else is, but like finding images to put on my website has been, I think, the most time consuming thing, because I thought I would be able to like do my website pretty fast. It's just the images. I've been trying to like really curate the images from each gallery to put on my website. So that's been pretty hard right now. But
yeah, that took the longest time for me as well.
Yeah, so that's kind of like what I'm doing. So yeah, everyone's like going through a little refresh, rebrand stuff right now. So that's exciting.
It's spring. It's new life.
Yeah.
It's like you just get inspired to do it.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I know. And I feel so inspired now too. The sun is out. Like it just feels so good to be alive these days. And yeah, I know it's crazy. So I think that's all of my updates. What else have I been up to? I've been using Sunsama, which is like a little scheduler app on my computer to help me with time blocking. So that's been a really good thing that I've been doing for that.
Oh,
and
you
just
have
like
to send it to me.
Just writing things down as like, I don't know. It's really cool because it's so simple. And it's just to like schedule out your week, and you can have like recurring tasks. So I basically set it up to where all the tasks that are on Monday continue to happen on Monday. And what I like about it is that you can kind of like drag and drop if you're like if you need to actually do what you were doing on Monday, on Wednesday, you can like easily like
Oh,
drag and
cool.
like kind of like change up your scheduler. So it's a really nice like app to have because you can have it on your phone, you can have it on your um, desktop, on your web browser. So it's just everywhere. But yeah, I've been really liking it. It's kind of expensive, I think. I bought the yearly plan a while ago, but it has been really helpful. So sometimes I feel like the prices reflects on like how helpful it actually is
Yeah.
and like needed, because I've always tried to be like a planner or like have like a planner, but I just like can never stick to it. And I don't know why, but this one is a little bit different because it's so simple. And I also like that it can do reoccurring tasks. So I don't have to remember each week, like I have to do this, I have to do this. It'll like automatically do it for each week for you.
I think something simple is like more luxury because I used to use
Yes.
like Trello or Asana and like it's
Yes.
so complicated and you can do so many different things that's like I get overwhelmed. I don't even want to use it.
I spent so long trying to use ClickUp and Notion for a long time.
Oh,
And I'm
Notion.
just like, I felt like I needed it because I did need some sort of structure and some sort of like place to organize things. But I've just come to realize that I just need simple,
Mhm.
simple, simple, simple. or at least like if not that, then I could have a ClickUp or a Notion, but someone needs to build it out for me. Like I can't be the one doing it because that almost takes up more time than what it actually really needs to be. And so I think just simple right now for me is just like the easiest option.
Yeah.
So that's been a really good thing for my brain, is having that like weekly scheduler, because it's just like you can see everything that you're gonna do that week. It'll give you like weekly objectives, and it'll tell you like how long you worked on each thing, and it also has like a time tracker so you can actually see like how long you spend on each
That's
thing,
nice.
because then you'll know like, oh, maybe I don't need 2 hours for emails, maybe I only need 30 minutes, or vice versa with like editing. I'm like, oh, I actually need 3 hours to do this and not one.
Yeah.
So it's just been really nice to like get to know how my brain works and just having a weekly schedule, because that's just something that I've been so struggling with so hard. And also something else that I've been struggling with is just waking up early. I cannot wake up early to save
Really?
my life. Yeah,
Well,
it's
what's
been
early?
so hard for me, like 7, 8.
Okay.
I'm, like, usually up by, like, 9, which sounds so late, but, um, I don't know, I feel like I used to be the girl at the gym at, like, 5 AM. Like, I did that for, like, a year, and it was when my business was thriving, and I was just thriving that year. And I do attribute that to working out in the morning, because it you just feel so like unstoppable after you work
Yeah.
out.
See, that's why I love Pilates, but my Pilates isn't until like 10 or 11.
Yeah,
So,
see, and that's also my problem, because I don't like the way my brain works. I don't like to do things in the middle like that, if that makes sense. So, like,
mm,
I have to do it in the morning as soon as I wake up, or I won't do it at all, because then I'm like, because having ADHD, it's almost like, okay, well, if I go to the gym in the morning, like as soon as I wake up, all I have to do is now get ready afterwards and do my morning routine, and then I can get to work. But if it's like in the middle of the day, I'm like, "Okay, well, then I can't get ready, then I can't work, because then I have
mm,
to go to the gym, and then I have to get ready afterwards, and then it's already noon," and then so
mhm.
it's like I just can't do it. So I really do have to do it as soon as I wake up. So I'm just trying to, I don't know, find some way to get me motivated to like wake up early. And I don't
Yeah.
know how I did that before. Maybe I was just like so disciplined that I was able to do it. I don't know. That's just something that I've been struggling with lately, which is so hard when you work for yourself, because there's no like repercussions. Like it's not like I'm going to get fired. It's not like I'm going to, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's also like bad for me too. And I know that, because it's like I want to do it. So it's almost like I'm giving up on myself in a way. And so I don't know. It's just something that I've been struggling with, but we'll get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just hard, but
That is really hard, like, because you don't have like a set time that you have to clock in. Even though you've
Yeah.
made this weekly schedule for yourself, it's very like,
Yeah, well, it's like, well, I can get it done even if it's like a little, like an hour later or
right.
something. And so I don't know. I just need to be more disciplined with myself. And I think that's maybe my problem is I just like look for motivation. And that's also a habit, just like, oh, I'll just do it when I'm motivated. But that's like almost never.
Well, so now that I've been going to Pilates for like 2.5 months, I love it. But
Yes.
at the beginning, it was something new that I introduced to my schedule and I
Yes.
wasn't like obsessed with it. But it is nice to have an incentive to go because if you sign up for a class and you don't go, they charge you.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe you could find like a workout class or something that you have to commit to. Otherwise, you get penalized for it.
Yeah, yeah. And when I was the girl that was like waking up at like 4:30 to get to the gym at 5, I was going to Orange Theory and they
Okay.
would charge you $25
Yep.
if you didn't go. And that was tough. That was tough. You had to go. But I think maybe what I did when I started to wake up at like 4:30, I started at like waking up at 7 and then I would do that for like 2 weeks and then the next 2 weeks I would try to wake up at 6. So I like slowly tried to do it
Okay.
and I think it did, well, obviously it did help. And then I don't know, maybe I'm just like shaming myself too much for not being able to do it for one day and only I don't know. I don't know where I'm going at that, but it's just like it's just been really hard for me lately and I don't know why. So that's something that I'm trying to work on. But it also has a lot to do with, like, my sleep routine and, like, my night routine because then I'll, like, go to bed at, like, midnight and then try to wake up at, like, 5, and I'm like,
Oh,
"Yeah,
yeah.
that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen." So it's
I need 9 hours of sleep.
Oh, no, me too, and so that's why I'm like, "Okay, well, I need to maybe even start." Now I'm realizing, maybe I just need to start with my night routine first and then try to focus on, like, my morning routine because, yeah, I do need 9 hours, and the luxury of working for yourself is that you can do that.
Mhm.
So it's like maybe I just need to focus on my nighttime routine right now and then focus on my morning routine because I'm also just very chaotic at night. I feel like I'm like always looking at screens. Like that's the time where I'm like watching TV and all of that stuff. So I don't know. I just need to work on that
It's so
because I'm
hard.
also a bad sleeper too. So I don't know. There's a lot of sleep issues that I have right now.
Yeah, well, it all comes down to sleep, like,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, it really does.
You need
And
sleep to function for anything.
just working out in general, I feel like that's why I haven't been able to like start working out, or that's why I think I haven't been able to, is because like my morning routine is so bad that it's just like I can't work out in the middle of the day. And I don't know why I make those rules either because it doesn't have to be that way, but I just know myself that it has to be like in the morning or else I'm just not gonna do it. But also now I'm realizing, oh gosh, I'm just rambling now. I did 75 hard, I think last year. Yeah, last year, and I was so on it. Oh my gosh. I was
Really?
so lean and so like that was probably like the best I have looked in a while and like the strongest I feel like I had been for a long time. Because it was like if I didn't work out in the morning, I was like, okay, well, you're just gonna have to wait until the end of the day. And so then I would just work out at like 9 p.m. and then
Mm.
start my night routine. So it was like I didn't work out in the middle of the day, but if it wasn't in the morning and I didn't do it in the morning, I had to do it at night because it was like the challenge. Like I had to work out every day for 75 days and it did really work. So now I'm like, okay, do I need a challenge? Like I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for here. It's just so hard working for yourself because you don't have coworkers, you don't have like
Yeah.
anybody and I don't know, it's just hard. And I don't have kids either, so it's like I
Yeah.
don't even wake up for anyone. I don't wake up for anyone.
And it's hard because you live kinda, like, far away, like, I wish we lived closer so that we could, like, be accountability partners
Yes,
for
yeah.
things, but
Yeah. Well, and my sister lives, like, pretty close, so I feel like maybe we could do something together too, 'cause she's been wanting to work out as well, and, I don't know, I was running last year, like, around the fall time, and I was waking up early to go do that because I actually really loved doing that, because I would run with my sister's boyfriend around like this park, and we would run for miles, and that was really nice. But I don't know. I'm thinking now that the sun is out, it's like there's a lot more sun throughout the day. I'll be a little bit more motivated to do things. But I also just need the habit first too. And it's just habits are hard to do or to start, because it's almost like with working out, you do just resist it. You're like, no, I don't want to do it, but you feel so good afterwards. And it's just like, you're just having to like imagine like, okay, what is that feeling afterwards and not the feeling beforehand? Because it's never good beforehand. It's always good afterwards. Even if you're like, hot and sweaty and just like so out of shape, it still feels like really good because you're like, wow, I actually did that. Like I did that.
Also, like habit stacking is really like important to me.
Yes.
So like the Pilates studio that I go to this is kind of wild. It's 45 minutes away from me, which sounds crazy, but it works for me because I habit stack the 45 minutes on the way there. I listen to like an educational podcast.
Okay, yeah.
And then for my reward for doing the class, 45 minutes home, I get to listen to like a fantasy book or something like it's like entertaining for me.
Yes.
And so like for me, I'm like, no, this is actually work because I'm learning on the way there.
Yes.
So I really like it. And the reason why I picked that studio is because my friend Abby goes there and she lives right next door. But and we wanted to like spend time intentionally together, and we're like, this is a time that we can see each other every day and do something productive. So that's the reason why I go to a studio, because there's actually one down the street from me that I don't go to.
Yes.
But yeah, so like habit stacking that way is really like fun for me. So.
Yeah. Well, and habit stacking is very cool too, because so what is the habit stack? It's like you basically do something like wait, what is the habit stack? Now I'm trying to think of like how it actually works.
I think
Can we Google it really quick? Because I know what it is, but like I don't know how to explain it.
I think it's you stack one thing. Well, I think there's different ways to habit stack.
Yeah.
There's one like you can stack it with something that is like a reward after.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's the cue, the routine, and the reward.
Yes.
And so you're cueing yourself when you're going to Pilates to do the routine, which is working out, and your reward for that is like listening to the podcast there and after, because it's like kind of like, oh, well, I'm being productive, I'm learning new stuff, like I like doing this, and so that's your reward. Okay, yeah. And so your habit stacking would be the cue, which is like you wake up, you get ready, you go to your workout, and then your reward would be like listening to something on your way back because it's 45 minutes. And so yeah. Okay.
And when you have the reward after it, it solidifies in your brain that that's a good habit to have.
Yeah.
And that's how you build the
feeling.
habit.
Yeah. It really is all about the feeling, because even that's how manifestation, I feel like, works too. Or like even like when people talk about I feel like a lot of successful people talk about this a lot, is where they are always looking for like the next big thing. And when they get there, they're not even happy yet, but they thought like, oh, once I get there, I'm going to be happy. This is all going to work out. But it really isn't ever going to happen if you're not happy like right now and like enjoying life right now. And so it's all about like the feeling of how you're feeling right now. So it is crazy how that works. You really have to think about like what the feeling is for that thing that you're doing too. And that's the reward.
The dopamine.
Crazy. I know. Crazy how that all works. I'm like, my life.
Well, let's go back to Dubsado for a second.
Okay. Yes.
So I had a call this past week, and it was my first time to have a discovery call, consultation call, whatever you want to call it, where the client and the planner were on the call.
Okay.
And I kind of wanted to go back to talking about like workflows and stuff like that, and how I have just learned to be super flexible, and that not every client is going to have the same workflow.
Yes.
Which I I feel like when we spend so much time like working on this, we can get super rigid and be like, this is the way that I work. And
Yes.
if it doesn't like work like this, then it's not for me.
Yes.
But so this was a completely different workflow that I've ever had to work with before, but I can see how this would be a workflow that I need going in the future that I'm going to be using a lot.
Okay.
And so basically a planner reached out to me, just an email, saying, I have this couple, they're getting married this date, they want to book you. Can you travel here? And I said, yes, let's hop on a call. So I got on a call with the planner. So I thought that was going to be the call because
Yeah.
that's what's happened in the past.
Yeah.
And she was like, cool, this is what they need. Send me the proposal, blah, blah, blah. And then I get a notification saying that the planner had made like a Google Meet call with me and the couple.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, cool. I was kind of like nervous because I didn't know how the call was going to go. I didn't know if it like the planner was going to be talking or
Oh,
if
okay.
I was going to be talking.
I thought you were gonna say you were nervous because it was a video call with like the couple.
Well, that too, because you know I like my phone calls.
Yeah.
And so long story short, I got on the call and it went fine. She was just like, yeah, I'll be here for any questions you have, but just do your thing. So just like a normal call with a client. But all that to say is this whole workflow that I would have had triggered, like set up in Dubsado, I had to do outside of Dubsado. Like all through just like the Gmail thread that I have with this planner.
Oh,
and
yes,
so,
yes.
like, I feel like in the past I would have been stubborn, like, no, I need to like, I have this beautiful workflow set up that I need to like do in Dubsado. But the planner didn't want to be in Dubsado. She wanted me like in this one email thread with direct like hyperlinked things in the email. And so sometimes whenever you have a Dubsado workflow, like it'll just start a whole new email thread. You know what I mean? And so I think we kind of forget that planners like don't want to have to go and look for the 10 different email threads they have with you. It would be nice to have just one email thread.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's something that I'm learning is like being super flexible. And if the planner is kind of like your client as well, like making their life easier too. But that was just something that I had to like tell myself is like, okay, it's okay if I'm not working
like
in this
your
one.
Chest, you're like, this is fine. This is fine.
Literally, like heart palpitations, like, oh my gosh, I can't use my workflow that I work so hard to be.
So funny. Yeah. I guess you're right, because it's also hard because when you are working with planners, every planner is so different.
Yeah.
They all work so differently. I guess the only thing for me would be like trying to, it's almost like for that type of workflow, I would just need reminders of like, okay, have I checked in with this client? Or like, have I sent this? Have I done this?
Right.
And so it would almost be a workflow in Dubsado where it's just like almost just reminders for me to check in to see like, have I sent this? Or like, have I talked to the planner about this? Or, things like that, because I feel like I do often forget if it's not like written down, or if it's like, oh my gosh, it's been like their wedding is like in 4 months, like have I even checked in, or like have I done this, that, blah blah blah. And so maybe it's just like having maybe just like reminders written down somewhere, or like something like that.
Well, you're right. Like you can still have a workflow, but it's not automated anymore.
Oh yes. And
so that's like where I was like having weird feelings, because like having this automated thing in my mind, like we've just been taught like since we started our business, like automations make your life easier. But I think that kind of works really well if you're doing like a high volume business plan where like you're shooting every week and you're doing 30 weddings a year. Yes, automations make your life way easier. But like when you move up in the market and you're not shooting as often, I think like I just have to have this mindset shift of like not being so, not selfish with my time, but like being like, it's okay if this isn't automated and I can take my time to just do everything by myself in a Gmail thread. You know what I mean? Because like taking that time to do that for that planner is going to pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
So it was just like a huge, like, weird, uncomfy feeling. But I love being uncomfy and changing things because it means that you're growing. And
yes. Yeah.
I just love that
you
kind
don't
of
have
feeling.
to be so rigid. And I think that's why I was struggling with a few weeks ago of like, how am I supposed to make a workflow work for everyone? But you're right. It's like, it's not really going to be able to work for everyone all of the time. Like if I'm working one-on-one with a client, it'll probably work. But if I'm working with a planner and a client, it's kind of going to have to change. And I think the only thing with that would be having to maybe have like just a document of like checklist of like reminders for that client specifically, since it's not in Dubsado, or like at least not like the email threads and everything of like maybe just like writing more notes about the client in Dubsado, or like writing a note of like, oh, we're chatting in Dubsado, or we're chatting on Gmail thread, don't forget, or something like that, where it's like the couple has like a note in case you do forget. Because I feel like sometimes I do almost like not mix my clients up, but like when you don't have like a face to the person, or like you're not really talking to them as much, you kind of like forget small little details like that. And so maybe just even having Dubsado as a way to like just write notes down and just like reminders of what you need to do for that client would be helpful. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'll have to say I'm super excited about that client.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. That's going to be so fun. When is the wedding?
January. So really far out.
Yeah. I mean, is it?
Oh, in my mind, it's still January. What? It's literally March.
I know. It's actually crazy. We're almost out of the first quarter, which is
wild.
But I mean,
but I feel like the first quarter is so weird that it just doesn't feel like a quarter.
Yeah, it is. Well, and like in Texas, our weather has been really weird lately too. I'm just like ready for it to be spring, which I'm noticing we're getting signs of spring, which is nice because I'm over the dead trees, over the everything just being so ugly and whatever. I'm being selfish. I just want it to be spring. And I just want it to be lively and sunny and whatever. Oh my gosh. I was editing a wedding the other week. Again, what is time? I don't know. And I looked at a picture that Miranda took of me, and this was after she said that white shoes give her the ick at weddings, or white sneakers. And I saw the picture she took of me, and it was me like fixing something on the bride, and I was wearing just like a black outfit with my white sneakers, and I was just like, oh. It's like giving myself the ick, because I was like, that is so true. Because when we were talking about this, so when was it? So white sneakers are out. We're after that second wedding that we worked. And the first wedding that we worked this year was not even like a month or two before that. And so it's just funny how like our mindset changes so fast, and like how fast we can change our minds, because I don't know, at the end of the day, I feel like everyone's a hypocrite. We're always like changing minds, and we might say one thing but then not mean it the next week. So it's just kind of like one of those things where I was just like, oh my gosh, like when I looked at that outfit, it didn't look bad to me. But now, after like talking about it, after like changing up my style, I'm like, oh, repulsive.
Well, you just don't know what you don't know until you know it.
Yeah.
And since we are very intense and always learning, and like
we're just so open to everything.
Yeah.
And so it's just hard to like look back. And I was like, that was not even 2 months ago.
That feels like a year ago.
Yes. It wasn't even 2 months ago. And obviously, like, I don't think anybody at that wedding would have been like, oh my gosh, she's wearing white sneakers. Like, I really don't think anybody
you still
was
looked put together, professional.
Exactly. So it's really just like how we feel about it.
Yeah.
And so, I was just looking at that photo. I was like, oh my gosh, someone cropped those feet out.
Well, that's the same thing as looking back at like work that you made like 5 years ago, and it gives you the ick. Like, you're always going to be evolving. And
which I feel like we're really good at doing. We're like evolving. We're always learning. We're always like open to things. And I don't know, I feel like that's how everyone should feel. But anyways, speaking of like evolving, I'm also slightly changing my editing style a little bit. It's nothing crazy. Like, honestly, you probably couldn't even tell if you were like if you weren't a photographer. And so that's something that I'm changing too, which is just so crazy, because I'm like, am I ever not gonna change? Like, I just feel like I've never like content with my branding, with like the way I shoot, with the weddings. Like I feel like I'm always learning something new at a wedding. So anyways, I'm changing up my style and well, not really. I'm not changing up my style
You're just like
completely. It's just like
refining it.
very subtle changes to the way I'm editing, and it's a little bit cleaner, a lot more true to color than what I have been doing. But again, it's like very subtle that you can't really even tell. It's just I can tell.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've been working on too, is like changing the way I edit weddings.
Yeah, and I used flash outside like
Yes.
during like noon sunlight the other day, and it changed my world. And I'm so excited about it. And it was during a family session, but I want to implement that on wedding days, and I'm really excited to try that out.
Yes, you should. I always forget actually to do that, but also recently I feel like I haven't even been shooting outside. It's just been like indoor
Yeah, you've
weddings.
done a lot of
So
indoor
it's
stuff.
just funny, but I get a lot of inspiration from influencers actually. So which is funny to say that I get influenced by influencers on a whole different thing that they're not even influencing. Because what they use for their like settings, or not settings. Okay, let me start over. What influencers, how they take photos is usually like a G7X with flash.
Mhm.
And it looks so good because like they'll take photos outside at the beach and they'll use flash so you can see the sunset, you can see the water, you can see their outfit like really clear, and you can tell that they use flash. And so I always like to emulate what influencers are doing because that's kind of like what's trending, I guess. And so I always try to be very like modern with the style that I shoot. So it's funny that you said that you use flash outside with your camera, because I feel like a lot of influencers, when you see their profiles, they're starting to use like actual cameras and not
Mhm.
just their phone cameras, and the quality looks so good because they're using flash, so everything's like in focus and it's like probably at aperture like 5, and so it just
Yeah.
like looks really good. And so anyways, yeah,
Yeah, the
I
aperture that
learned
I
that
was
from influencers actually.
Yeah. The aperture I was using was like 11, and
Mm-hmm.
like that's funny that you say like well, it's interesting that you have been noticing that influencers are using that, because to me, it just goes back to like magazines, like editorials,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
they're always like, using filler light and stuff like that. And so I was literally just taking like a photo of like a baby eating ice cream on a picnic blanket, but I used direct flash, and it just looked so editorial. And I love like mixing editorial techniques with like documentary candid moments,
Yes.
because it makes everything just look so interesting, and you're like, what is going on here? I love when like photos make you question like what is even going on.
Yes.
That's my favorite thing ever. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm really excited to try that out
Yeah. And
on
it's
wedding
funny
days.
how different things influence us and kind of like start trends, because I definitely feel like influencers are kind of like, when they get married, they start their trends for weddings too.
Mhm.
Not as far as like even just design, not photography in any
Yeah.
sense, but like just design and everything. So it's just crazy how we just find inspiration in different things. And I'm always looking at what influencers are doing because it's just different than looking at what other photographers are doing.
Yeah.
And I really love learning from people that are not in our industry, and not even learning. It's not like they're teaching this, but it's
You're like
almost just like
studying them.
studying like because I'm very like, my photography style is very editorial, documentary style, but more editorial than documentary. It's like a really good mix of both, I think. And so, but also with that, I really want to be modern with how I take photos too. And so I'm just like always learning and always seeing like what influencers are doing, because they kind of are influencing like the wedding market
Mhm.
when they're getting married and things like that. So it's just, I don't know, it's just cool to see like what influences us and like how we get our ideas and whatnot for content, and just like the way we shoot. Because again, I always talk about Severance, but I love just watching how they film their stuff and like their coloring and why they do things, because it's just interesting. You can take that into your own photography style and make it work.
Mhm.
But is there anything else? What else is happening?
Books and stuff about treating your craft and business almost like a performance athlete and like how they prepare.
Okay.
Because there's this like idea of like talent only gets you so far.
Yes.
And I feel like when you're first starting out during your business, talent is what sets you apart.
Mhm.
And like we're all talented. That's why we start in this business anyways. And so, but it comes to a point where it's like you get to a point where everyone in your direct like competition is talented.
Mhm.
And so it's like what sets you apart and what sets the greats apart from just everyone else is they literally like they perform like an athlete. And like this it kind of goes back to what I was saying last week about like preparing for details and like
Mhm.
just really like because I would just used to show up to wedding day with like no plan in mind and just being like, okay, whatever happens, happens. Like
Yeah.
I'm here to capture it, you know? And that's all fine and dandy. And I feel like I have talent and skill to do that. But I feel like what's going to grow me even further and set me apart is to prepare and have a plan and visualize what I think the day is going to look like. Getting all the design decks before so that I can have an idea of what's going on, like location scouting, all these things before I show up on the wedding day. Is just gonna like help me be great at what I'm doing because we're all good, but what's gonna make you great?
Yes.
And
Is
I
having a game plan.
yes, which I
That's so true. I've never thought about it like that. I mean, I feel like I do that, but I've never thought about it in that way.
yeah, like that's what all great performing artists do is
Yes.
they literally train like an athlete, you know, like visualizing like what great athletes do
Yes.
and like
Literally manifesting.
literally
Manifesting a good
working
day.
out, like getting in the flow state is a big
Yes.
thing and
Yes.
like preparing yourself to be
Yeah,
in the
that's
flow
so crazy
state.
because that's why I get to my weddings early, so I not stress the
Yeah.
whole day. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's game changing.
Yeah, so goodbye are the days where I just roll up and be like, whatever
Yes.
happens, happens. Because I feel like I have a certain skill set to where I'm really good at just being thrown into chaos and like not having a plan. I'm good on my feet, like I'm
Yeah.
good under pressure. Which that is that talent, that skill. But if you can combine that with like planning and having a game plan and like then that's just like amazing. You
Yeah.
know, like that's
Yeah.
the greats. That's the
Yeah.
greatness. So
Oh my gosh, that is so good. That is so true because the more prepared you are, it won't be as stressful and as chaotic as it would be
yeah.
if you weren't planning or prepping, because sometimes I think that's why people burn out so easily from weddings or just like they just feel so stressed from a wedding. But like if you go in with a game plan and you're like set, you know the design, you know the locations, you know where you're going to shoot what, you're more than likely the day of, you're going to be able to pivot so quickly that it's not even going to be a thing. It's not going to be stressful for anyone. It's not going to like lead to you having to go look to see where you're going to do this or where you're going to do this, because that also adds time to the timeline. And, you know, weddings are fast paced usually. And so, yeah, that's really good. That's a good thing to.
And I feel like I used to stray away from that or get the ick from planning because I've thought that that took away from like the raw organic nature of the photos I was trying to create. But I feel like it's like if you have a box and you're like in those parameters, you can be even more creative instead of like having like the cosmos open to you for like all of the inspiration. You know what I mean? Like
yes. Well, and I feel like also the less stressed you are, the less chaotic, you'll feel more creative because you're not having to think about those other things that are stressing you out, or like if you're doing this or that, or like how am I supposed to do details in 15 minutes? You're allowing yourself to be even more creative because you're so prepared for things like that. So that is so good. And we will end the podcast on that
note.
That is such a good thing to leave the podcast with. Oh my gosh. Well, guys, we will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to our channel. And yeah, thanks for listening.
Love you guys. Bye.